Hello everyone, in this video we're going to look at Bitcoin, which is getting pretty interesting here. I like this pattern playing out. So one of the things we have going on is we had the prior high back in 2021 at 69,000. Now the price retested that back in March or so, and that's March is where we made the new all-time high, and it was just under 74,000, and that'll vary a little bit by which exchange you're looking at. And then we had this kind of choppy trading and an overall pullback of just over 20%. Now I like to look for patterns and potential entry points, and I like this. You can start to see a little bit of a shift here. You're making lower lows, and then you just start to make some higher lows, and you're making lower highs, so that's more downtrending behavior, lower highs, and then here we see a bit of a shift where we start moving back up. So there's this rounding out type pattern. Now we don't know if this little pullback's quite finished yet, but so far we're at another higher low. So if we start breaking out of, just clear some of these lines here. If we start breaking out of this pattern, that's generally a pretty good sign. So these rounded bottom patterns, they can occur after extended down periods, and they can also be a bullish pattern in an overall uptrend. So we are in an overall uptrend since the start of 2023, where we've had these pullbacks, then rally, pullback, then rally. This one was a little bit extended sideways as well. Oh yeah, and when we reach an all-time high after a big bear market, so we had this high in 2021, big bear market, down over 70%, 76, 77 estimated. And then we've rallied all the way back. There does tend to be choppiness. When we look at history, we often get a month or so of this kind of choppiness. We are now into, it's been March, April, May, a few months of this kind of choppy trading. The other prior examples have resumed to the upside. We don't know if this one is going to yet, but at the moment it's still looking fairly bullish, especially if we start to pop above and we can start holding above this 70,000 level and moving up. So let's look at where would the potential profit targets be if that were to develop. So this could be based on a few different things. You could just look at the size of this rounded bottom, and maybe that would give you a kind of short-term target. It's about $16,000 ish. Let's call it 17,000 plus the old high around 73. That would put you at a target of around 90,000. That might not be a bad estimate. What I did is I went back and looked at all the bull markets since 2013, looked at how far the price typically rallies, and this would be, this would be an example of a rally right there, following a pullback. And I looked at pullbacks of about 20%, because a 20% pullback in Bitcoin really isn't that much. And what I found is when I calculated all of them out, the average rally was 91% off of the pullback low. So if we go to this pullback low here and we add about 91%, we're getting pretty close to that $110,000 level, just under, about 108, 109,000. The median rally, which is a slightly different calculation. So an average is you're taking all the rallies and dividing that by how many rallies there are. Or the median is you take all the rallies and you find the midpoint. The median rally was 75%. So if we add 75% to that low, that puts us just under 100,000, right about 99, 98,000. So I think that's a pretty good target area, that 100,000 to 110,000. 100,000 is also that kind of big psychological level. Probably get some a lot of maybe whipsawing around that level, just because, you know, some people will want to buy it when it hits 100,000. Other people will be like, wow, it's at 100,000, I'm going to take my profit. And that can cause, you know, some whipsawing around there. So I think this is a pretty good target area just based on history. Of course, not every rally is going to be the average. Averages and medians are composed of smaller and larger values. So this rally could be smaller, it could be bigger. For just some reference, just in this 2023 rally, you can see we've had, you know, this first one 63% followed by a 22% pullback, then a 60% rally. This was, you know, some kind of choppy trading. This rally never really got started before pulling back again. Then we had a 96% rally before the next 20% pullback. So when I'm looking at these targets, this is basically what's the target before another likely 20% pullback or greater. We're already 27-28% into this rally, so we have a little bit more upside to go off this potential low. And yeah, so looking at that 100-110 area as a potential target.